Sander. I appreciate the fact that all three of you in your initial documents that you supplied to this committee were very complimentary of this document here, the National Defense Strategy Commission. Something we've complimented for quite a period of time. It's equal Democrats and Republicans putting it together, and it has the recommendations. We've been adhering to these recommendations ever since this report came out. Ms. Hirschman, in the NDS, it outlines three lines of efforts to generate decisive and sustained U.S. military advantage. One of those three is often underappreciated and is reforming the department for greater performance and affordability. What is the CMO's role in contribution to the NDS?
Senator, under Title 10, 132A in particular, it outlines the role of the CMO. And part of my many duties include driving the business operations of the department. That's looking for efficiency, effectiveness, undoing duplication, finding reform, driving reform, also making good use of shared services, having direction, authority, and control over what's called the Fourth Estate, which is 28 defense agencies and field activities, plus the Joint Staff, plus OSD. And so part of my role in support of the Deputy Secretary, as well as the Secretary, as the principal advisor to them, is to find areas where we can seek efficiencies, effectiveness, and not hamper our lethality and readiness. And to that end, I support much of line of effort 3 as well as line of effort 1 of the NDS.
Good, because that's not talked about as much as some of the other areas. And Mr. Deasy, in the years I've been on this committee, I don't remember anyone having the rounded experience and background that you've had, and not just the obvious thing as the CIO of J.P. Morgan Chase, but also with BP, General Motors, Tyco, Siemens. So you've done it all. And I just have to ask the question, you've been exposed now to this job. What is it about it you're willing to continue on with all this background that you bring to the table?
You know, this started about 3 years ago when I had a chance while at J.P. Morgan to host all the agency CIOs and Department of Defense CIOs. And I remember that day, Senator, when I went home and spoke to my wife, I said, you know, the missions that they described to me, the challenges they face, just are enormous. And I remember saying to her at the time, I said, I wish someday there was a chance that I could help in some capacity. So when I got the call that has to come and serve, you know, as I pointed out in my opening remarks, Carla was very quick to point out this was your opportunity. I have to tell you, since arriving, there's not a day that goes by when I walk the hallways of the Pentagon and you see the young men and the women, and you really do feel a sense of accountability on your shoulders that you have to deliver, you have to deal with the concerns and the challenges they face. And I feel very honored to have this. I'm very committed to doing this, and I'd rather be no other place than here right now, Senator.
Well, that's the kind of answer you hope for, that people out there in the real world are wanting to pay back a little bit. We appreciate it very much. Mr. Sander, they'd say the same thing with your background, the things that you referred to, what the first steps that you'll take, but you didn't outline what those steps would be. What would be the first thing you're anxious to get involved in?
Senator, the first thing that I'm going to do is build relationships within the Navy. There will be relationship building between the Navy, Secretary of the Navy, the Assistant Secretaries, and also the senior leadership in the Navy and the Marine Corps. They have a lot of issues right now dealing legal issues, as you outlined in your opening statement, as well as Senator Reid did. And I need to get a better look on how we can best address those for the future of the Department of Navy. Our sailors and the taxpayers deserve nothing less.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And the fact that all three of you have recognized that we've slipped a little bit when I talked about hypersonics and how we were ahead at one time, and right now we've fallen behind. And, you know, when you talk to the American people, they assume that we have the best of everything. The three of you know that we don't right now, but we will with your service. Senator